off the back of a disappointing 2-0 loss on the road to Inter Miami in MLS play, the Red Bulls returned home on Wednesday to take on Charlotte FC in the U.S. Open Cup round of 16. This game, not at Red Bull Arena where the Red Bulls usually play their home games, instead at Montclair Soccer Park on the campus of Montclair State University. Red Bulls opting for a smaller venue for this cup tie. Now, James Burley, who couldn't make the game, him and I have documented throughout this whole season just how much the Red Bulls have struggled at home, uncharacteristically when you look at how good the Red Bulls are historically. This time was a different venue, and the different venue proved to be the fix because the Red Bulls came out flying, defeating Charlotte FC 3-1 at Montclair Soccer Park, advancing to the quarterfinals of the Open Cup, where they will face their arch nemesis, New York City FC. That game will be in June. But for this match, the Red Bulls started with a lineup that was very strong. In these Open Cup games, typically you see some rotation, some young guys getting a chance, just because of how packed the MLS schedule is. You have to rest some legs, especially the Red Bulls played last week, midweek against Chicago Fire, a 3-3 draw, then went to Miami this past weekend, and now an Open Cup tilt. But the Red Bulls started a very strong 11. You know, a player like Ryan Mayer, a Fordham alum, backup keeper, someone who usually plays in these Open Cup games, was left on the bench. Carlos Coronel, the Red Bulls' regular keeper, started the match. Really the only non-regular starter in the 11 was Daniel Edelman in the midfield. So it was you can see the intention from the Red Bulls in how they want to approach this competition. They're approaching it to win it. Now they're through to the quarterfinals. But right at the start, the Red Bulls got off to a flyer. Patryk Klimala in the second minute slammed home a loose ball off a Tom Edwards corner kick. That made it 1-0. Very fast start for New York, but Charlotte came up with the answer just a couple minutes later in the 8th minute. Daniel Ríos slot home a chance right past Carlos Coronel to make it 1-1. And it was the first half that really didn't necessarily follow the same script that all these other Red Bulls first halves at home have. Charlotte had more possession, but even saying that, I still thought that the Red Bulls were in control of the game. They were pressing well, they were moving well, and that 1-1 score took us all the way to halftime. And in the second half, the Red Bulls pushing more and more. Patryk Klimala, finally, in the 64th minute, he played an incredible game, my man of the match, got that first goal, and on the 64th minute, beautiful run from Klimala down the wing, beats his man, beats the entire Charlotte defense, puts a beautiful ball across. Dylan Nealis with the finish, makes it 2-1 New York. From then on, Charlotte tried to push on for an equalizer. They just couldn't find one. The Red Bulls stout defensively, and it was a case where offense was the best form of defense. The Red Bulls kept their pressure up, even as Charlotte tried to, find that next goal. And in the 92nd minute, just before the end, Luquinhas, beautiful work in the corner to steal the ball away from a Charlotte defender, finds Tom Barlow, the substitute, came on for Klimala. Barlow taps it in, makes it 3-1 Red Bulls, securing the victory for New York. Their first home victory of the season, not at Red Bull Arena, but at Montclair Soccer Park. Some fans were debating in the stands whether or not this counted as a home win. I think it does. The crowd was 100% pro Red Bulls. So even though not at Red Bull Arena, a huge win for New York. Coach Gerhard Struber, after the game, had some thoughts about the referee and just the general way in which his team played. Take a look.
Many players, and I cannot say this was only in our direction, bad decisions. In both directions, the referees was outstanding bad, and this cannot be the level and the standard what the MLS and also the US Association want from referees. This was a shame, and this was my last words about the referees. It's crazy.
Coach Gerhard Struber there voicing his displeasure with the refereeing performance. Really, it was a chippy game from start to finish. There were 13 fouls called in New York with 4 yellow cards, compared to 15 for Charlotte and 2 yellow cards. No sending offs. It really felt like there could have been. The referee, in my opinion, didn't really have control over the game from start to finish. A lot of challenges that went flying. There was pushing and shoving and just general chippiness. Things boiled over a couple times, but the referee never really seemed to have a firm grasp on the game. But no matter, the Red Bulls come out of Montclair Soccer Park, 3-1 victors over Charlotte FC. Beautiful match for Patryk Klimala. He's my man of the match. The Red Bulls advance to the quarterfinals, the last 8 where they will face New York City FC. New York City defeated New England 1-0 in the round of 16 to get to this point. So it should be a good one. That game will come up in June. But this coming weekend, the Red Bulls are at home again in MLS play against their arch rival DC United. And I won't be there for that one. My colleague James Burley will be. He'll have you covered with all the updates on Twitter and a post-game video afterwards. But for now, for WFUV Sports, I'm Nick Guzman. Thank you so much for tuning in.